Kapow is a revolutions book where the revolutions are both internal to the story, and also they are what's being forced on the reader, who has to turn the book upside down and back to front sometimes in order to follow all of it. It's a kind of account of the Arab Spring, of the events last year, which was when I was writing it. But also because part of the investigation of it is whether really, as a London writer, or what relation I have to these kind of world events that are happening kind of nowhere near me. The idea was that this narrator, this kind of version of me, would be both very much based in the world of fact, would be reading real newspapers and would be quoting real newspaper articles or YouTube clips, but would at the same time be trying to kind of imagine their own version of what might be happening in a city that they weren't actually in. So the design of this book, there are two main features I'd say to it. One of them is that on every page, some of the text goes in a different direction to the main body of text. And the second thing was that some of these digressions, these kind of sections of text at the wrong angle to the rest of the text, continue into fold-out pages, which you don't initially notice as you're reading. So when you pick up this book, it looks like an entirely normal book. And it's only as you start to kind of read it that you realise that this thing is kind of essentially pushing you around.
In magazines and things, they kind of play with formats and things, but in terms of actually, you know, this is a novel, it's meant to be read.
Yeah.
There isn't anything, certainly that I know about, that does that.
It's about a love story. It's a love story about a taxi driver and his wife in an unnamed location, although it is definitely in the Middle East during the revolutions. And then kind of further nested above that is the story of the actual storyteller, an unnamed narrator, who is jet-lagged and overweight and confused, and is trying to kind of understand this story which is going on far away and without him. And his crucial link is actually a minicab driver who first tells him an initial story. And so basically there is therefore a motif of cabs, which is, I think, one reason why we are trying to talk about this slightly crazy book in the back of a cab.